Bonsoir tout le monde. Hi everybody. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're doing super well. I'm happy to see you today for another video. And for this video, we're going to talk about grammar. I know when it comes to the French language, sometimes grammar is the most complicated because we have a lot of verbs, a lot of tenses. It's complicated to know that we have a specific ending for a specific pronoun, but don't worry. This one is not going to be complicated and it's super helpful, especially if you're in your French journey and you want to try to speak French in a daily basics. This tone, this tense is super useful. It is the imperative. Imperative is the same as in English. It's the tense that we use in French to give some instruction, orders, advices. We're going to see that. We're going to see everything, how it's constructed, when do we use it. So this is going to sound super easy for you at the end of this video. Hope you're going to like it. So the name is l'impératif. So we call that tense l'impératif. Introduction. Pour donner un ordre, un conseil ou une instruction. That's what I said. So we use the imperative to give either an order, un ordre, an advice, un conseil ou une instruction, an instruction. Exemple. Écoute la prof, meaning listen to the teacher. Prenez une feuille. Take a paper or take a piece of paper. You see that here when you say that with that tone, it is something quite energetic. It is something that you say to someone in a very active way. Do this, do that, listen to it, go eat. This is what we call imperative. So now we're going to see how do we construct it, how do we use it. First question is when. When do we use the imperative? Quand on utilise l'impératif? As we said, pour donner une instruction, to give an instruction. Exemple, ferme la porte, close the door. Pour donner un conseil, to give an advice. Mange sainement, eat healthy. Ou pour inviter quelqu'un, to invite someone. Viens avec moi. All of those, different types of phrases, different meanings, but same base, same construction, and same tense. Impératif. Ferme la porte, mange sainement, viens avec moi. All of those are imperative. You see that there are different types of verbs, but they have the same construction. What is that construction? Very easy. You know that when it comes to French and the present, the past, the future, it's the same as in English. You have a pronoun. You have je for I, vous or tu for you, il, he, she, nous for we, etc. So for example, if I want to say a phrase such as on parle, that means we speak. It's present tense. It's okay. When it comes to imperative, it's different. What does that mean? That means that when we want to use that tone, if you check on the previous slide, ferme la porte, mange sainement, viens avec moi. There's no pronoun. There's no je, there's no tu, there's no nous. We don't put the pronoun I, you in front of it. Because it's something that we say to someone, like an advice or an order is, do this, do that, go to bed, go up. You're just going to say the verb straight away. So this is the main thing, okay? There's no pronoun. Okay, keep that in mind, no pronoun. But even if there's no pronoun when you write it down, imperative is a tense that is connected and that refers to three specific pronouns. You're not going to write them down, but of course, when you say an order or you give an advice to someone, you speak directly to that person. You're not going to give an order to someone who's not here, okay? So that means that when you address to someone, it has to be either tu, that means you informal, vous, that means you formal or plural, or even nous. Nous, that means we, us, that means I'm a part of it. I'm a part of that order. So it's like you're saying, let's go dance. Let's go dance. It's like an order, an invitation. I'm a part of it. So it's considered to nous. So you don't write the pronoun, but when you think about it, it's like this tense is either connected to tu, nous, et vous. Only. Nos je, nos il, elle, singulier, nos il, elle, pluriel. Just those three pronouns. So keep that in mind. Now let's see the examples. I know that, for example, Because I choose a specific verb, I have my specific pronoun. So I can keep in mind that I only have to write tu, nous, et vous. Those are the three pronouns that we're going to use for the imperative. For example, if I want to say to tu, that means tu is you, singular, informal. For example, if I want to say that to my brother, and I want to say speak louder, I'm addressing to tu. That means I'm addressing to one person in front of me. Okay? Informal, closed circle, it's tu. I'm going to say parle plus fort. Donc, I'm not going to say tu parles plus fort. Because if I say tu parles plus fort, you speak louder, it's present tense, regular. I want to give an order or an advice. So I'm going to remove the tu. Parle plus fort. Now, for example, if I want to say let's leave now, I'm a part of it. So that means that this way of saying it is connected to we, such as nous. Okay? So I'm going to say partons maintenant. No, nous partons maintenant. If I say nous partons maintenant, it's present tense. We leave now. But if I want to say let's leave now, partons maintenant, I remove the nous. My verb is still connected to my pronoun. So keep that in mind. It's not because you don't write the pronoun in the phrase that is not connected to it. Because of course I'm saying that to someone because I'm talking to someone. But the thing is that I'm not going to write it. I'm just going to keep my ending of the verb. This is why here we have parle, partons. Or for example, if I want to say, look at the board, I'm going to say, regardez le tableau. Let's pretend I'm a teacher and I'm speaking to my students and I want to say, hey, look at the table. Regardez le tableau. Because I'm addressing to multiple people, it's you but plural. That means it's going to be vous. So my verb has to have the vous ending, which is the EZ. But I'm not going to write my pronoun. So I'm going to adjust my ending of my verb, but I'm going to remove my pronoun. So that when I'm going to see the verb regarder with the EZ, I know that it's addressing to vous, even though the vous is not written because it's imperative. There's no vous. Regardez le tableau. Let's read that one more time. Parle plus fort. Partons maintenant. Regardez le tableau. So what matters the most when it comes to that tense is to know that I have to address to someone because I give an order or an advice to someone. Either to tu, to nous, I'm a part of it, or to vous, plural or formal. I'm not going to write those pronouns. I'm just going to keep that in mind so that I'm going to be able to put my right ending for my verb depending on the person I'm referring to. Now let's see something. Careful. When it comes to the imperative, I go back here and let's see the first example. Parle plus fort. Parle plus fort, you can see here that it's connected to tu. As we said, I'm talking to my brother. So tu is the you, informal, singular. Okay. Parle, to speak, is the verb parler, to speak. Parler, er ending, first group. I know my ending, present tense. If I want to say I speak, je parle with the e. If I want to say you speak, tu parles with es. Because I know for all my verbs finishing with er, the ending for tu is es. But here, when you look at it, there's no tu, because I know that I cannot write my pronoun, but there's no s. So this I need to be careful. This is the thing. When it comes to the verb er, and it's only the verb er, meaning it's just the verb's first group. Only. So for the verb parler, er, danser, to dance, er, chanter, er, to sing, all of those examples, if I want to say those verbs to one person, to tu, that means close circle, informal, and singular, I'm going to remove my tu and I'm going to remove my s. So for example, I go from tu parles with es and the pronoun tu, that is present tense, tu parles, you speak, to parle, no tu, no s, speak. This is imperative. So I keep that in mind. My verb er, there's never a pronoun, but for tu, there's no s. For nous and vous, it's the same. You're just going to remove the pronoun, you just keep the verb, and you keep the right ending. So for example, if I want to say we speak, present tense, nous parlons. But if I want to say let's speak, I'm a part of it, so it's nous. I'm just going to say parlons. I remove my nous, but I keep my same verb. Same for vous. If I want to say to my students, speak, it's plural, so it's connected to vous. I'm going to say vous parlez, is present tense, parler with the right ending when it's imperative. That's all. So the big change that you need to keep in mind is for that tense, there's no pronoun. Never. Never write tu, never write nous, never write vous. You put the verb straight away. You just keep the right ending. It's the same as the present tense, unless for the verb er with tu, where you remove the s. Careful. It's only with the verb er. Keep that in mind too. Okay, so you know that for the er verb, we have present tense tu, es, you remove the tu, you remove the s. Nous is ons, you just remove the nous, you keep the ons. Vous is iz, you remove the vous, you keep the iz. And the rest is regular. But we have some exceptions. These are the four main verbs that are complicated and that switch completely when we want to use the imperative. For example, the verb être, to be. I know that if I want to say you are, tu es, es. We are, nous sommes. You are formal, vous êtes. It's not just that I'm going to remove my pronoun and keep my et, some. No, I'm going to change everything. It's a completely different base. So this, you just have to learn it. So from, if I want to say, for example, with the verb to be, être, I'm not going to say et, I'm going to say sois. Sois means be imperative to tu. Par exemple, sois gentil, be nice. So if I want to go from you are nice, tu es gentil, be nice, sois gentil. Soyons gentils, let's be nice. So we go from nous sommes gentils, we are nice. Soyons gentils, let's be nice. Vous êtes gentil, you are nice. Be nice, soyez gentil. Irregular. So for the verb être, to be, you have to learn these ones. Same for avoir. Avoir, to have, I'm going to say est. Est when I'm addressing to tu, not as. I go from tu as, you have, present tense. Est when I'm addressing to tu, imperative. Ayons, let's have. Ayez, have, plural. Careful, exception. Ensuite, aller. This one is pretty much okay. So you have aller, that means to go. Tu vas. You know that when it's the verb er, you remove the s and you remove the tu. So we go from tu vas with the tu and the s when it's present tense to va, no more tu, no more s when it's imperative. Allons, aller. Faire, fait. Faisons, faites. So the main ones is être et avoir that you need to know by heart. Okay, I hope that this helped you. Now, time for a little practice. I would like you to try to complete those phrases with the right verb and the right ending and the right way to say that imperative. Careful. The main rule is you never write the pronoun. You just put the verb straight away, but in your head, because you know who you're addressing to, if it's tu, one person, if it's nous, that means all together, so I'm a part of it, or if it's vous, that means you, plural or formal, I'm going to put my verb, but I'm just going to show that I know who I'm addressing to by putting the right ending. That's all. So now we can read it. We have the first one that is related to tu with the verb faire. So what is the imperative? If you struggle, you can always start, if it's not an exception, with the present tense, and you know the rule that you remove the pronoun every time, and when it's the verb er, you remove the s for tu. Then second one, for nous, aller. What is the imperative for this one? Numéro 3, finir, to finish avec vous. Numéro 4, mettre, to put on, avec tu. Et le dernier, the last one, être, oh, exception maybe, avec vous. Donc, I would like you to see everything. The most important thing is just to remember that if it's not an exception, it's the same as the present tense. So if you know your present, you're good. You just know that you remove the pronoun and you just put the verb straight away. Then you have the verb er when only for tu. Of course, you remove the pronoun tu, nous, vous, but for tu, you remove the s. And then you have the exception with être, to be, et avoir, to have. I hope that this video is helpful. At least now, the imperative has no secret for you. I know that it might be a little complicated because if you want to be able to practice that in the right way and to use it in the right way, that means you need to be comfortable with the present tense. But don't worry, it takes steps, and I'm pretty sure you're doing amazing. So if you're not sure about the present tense and need to re-see the verbs and the construction, go back on the previous videos. We did all of the verbs and like the different types of groups of the present, so you can like see that everything, just to make sure everything is okay. And then you can go back on this one and try to do the imperative. I hope that you like this video. Don't forget to comment, to like it, or to share. If you have any question, reach to us in our social media. And I'm wishing you all a good end of your day and a good week. Salut!